Am I in focus now? Yes. All right. We're streaming, everyone. Woo! Hello, welcome to CSE Portland's LGBTQIA+ stand-up night. I'm Jay. I use they, them pronouns, and I am part of the house staff here, along with Johanna and Pat. Will be here to sell you concessions throughout the evening. A couple things you should know about. We have restrooms down the hall or right there. When you're done with your concessions items, we have trash and recycling right over there as well, so you can, offload and then go get more. We thank you very much for being here tonight. We'd like you to, be supportive, and if you're here to see someone in specific and they're done with their set, it's nice if you didn't just, bail on everyone else. But if you have an emergency or something, we understand. First off tonight, your host will be Carl Wolfson. Carl has been doing stand-up for 42 years, 10 months, 3 weeks, 5 days. I was told over 40 years was not specific enough, so I've been working to narrow it down. Got the little clicker going, the little tally marks on the wall. We've had the pleasure of having Carl teach stand-up classes here at Comedy Sports for the past couple of years. And we have another one starting in November. It'll be 2 nights a week, so it gets done before the holidays. And, we've seen some great results. And, Carl knows what he's doing. So if you'd like to know about that, you can go to portlandcomedy.com. Carl might reiterate that later. We'll see. And if you have questions, we'll be here to help. So now, let's welcome many years of stand-up, late-night talk shows, KPOJ and Air America Radio, Carl Wolfson.
We've been going for Jay, the whole staff here. We're doing a great show tonight. Thanks for coming out. Really appreciate it. Having a hand for everybody going to come out tonight. They're back in the great room. Very pleased. My husband Gary is here. We're celebrating our 26th anniversary in December. Give it up for Gary. So you know I'm gay. I have a husband. I'm also, it is true, about 43 years of stand-up comedy. At this point in my life, I'm very nostalgic about comedy. And I was on Alan Thicke show, Thick of the Night, every week, and Alan passed away suddenly. I was on Joan Rivers' show every other week, and Joan passed away suddenly. I kind of wish I had been on The Apprentice, but not a lot of Trump fans here. That's really good. I still have to perform. I've performed all 50 states, and I still have to go to those red areas. Richland, Washington, lately. Anybody been to Richland? Yeah. Oh, there. Yeah. Sorry to bring you down so earlier in the show. Yeah, I remember the first time I was in Richland. I was doing dog and cat material. A woman in the backyard, she had a lab. I said, "What kind?" She said, "Meth." And the whole Trump thing, I was there in 2016. See, I just, it's so horrible, it's horrific, but where I can make it work for me, I do. 2016 was playing Richland. I had breakfast at a little diner. It was a really nice little diner, and the waitress had a huge Trump button on. Trump, make America great again. So I didn't say anything. So after I had my breakfast, she brought me the check, and I gave it back to her, and I said, "Mexico will pay for it." And so I fucking ate free in Richland. That was good. He said two things. You all need to know two things about Trump. One, he is the ultimate grifter, and two, everything's about him. Right? That's it. That's really it. Anybody done that 23andMe, the DNA thing? Have you done that? No? You haven't done it?
No.
Yeah. You know what it is? Yeah. And how come you haven't done it? You're just afraid to find out there was a Republican in your family, or you haven't done it yet. But more people spend the DNA stuff on their animals, on their dogs and cats. So you realize? Anyone done the 23andMe? Who's done it? Oh, you've done it. What did you find out about yourself, sir?
Native American, Spanish, and Italian.
Spanish and Italian, Native American. Good for him. Give it up for him. I love it. Well, Spanish and Native American. So you got fucked and you fucked. Part of you was fucked and others got fucked. So, whatever. There was a fuck involved. That's what I'm saying. So you might want to try, Trump has a new thing. It's just called Me. You send in your swabs and he sends back information about himself. So I think, what really gets me is that the one person happy, really, really happy that Trump was president was George W. Bush, right? Because he's no longer the worst president in American history. You remember how Bush used to talk to us like we were in the 3rd grade? We've forgotten about that. The hurricane is in the water. When the hurricane hits the land, there will be an emergency on the land. People say to me, when will the hurricane hit the land? When will it make landfall? Well, I'm the decider. I decide when the hurricane hits the land. Oh God, when I play in Texas, oh my God, I do that Bush stuff, they get very upset. Some guy ran up to me after that bit, he goes, "You should listen to President Bush like he listens to the country." So I did. I tapped his phone without a cord order. It really gets me that all these women politicos are cozying up to Trump. Kristi Noem and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Carrie Lake. They want to be his running mate, or as I call it, the Eva Braun sweepstakes. Thank you for getting that. I'll explain that later. When you get your DNA, we're going to figure that out. So Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's about the worst, right? Yeah. She's so mean. It's just all meanness. She's half German, half Shepherd. That one. I should put her in a kennel with Biden's dog and see who comes out alive. And now Ron DeSantis, oh my God, sent 48 migrants to Martha's Vineyard. Democrats have finally gotten even, though. I just heard a plane landed in Florida with 48 of Herschel Walker's children. So, nobody's getting hurt tonight. Don't need to groan. And no sense of humor. There's no sense of humor anymore. And I've followed politics my whole life, which is a long time, as you can tell. And, you know, in the old days, you could fight, you could argue, but people still had a sense of humor. One of my favorite senators from history, Margaret Chase Smith, Republican, but back then she was moderate, worked across the aisle, stood up against Joe McCarthy. She was a good person, and she had a sense of humor. Margaret Chase Smith, they asked her, she was often mentioned as a possible first woman president in the 50s. A reporter asked her one day, said, Senator Smith, what would you do if you woke up and found yourself in the White House? She said, I would get dressed, run downstairs, apologize to Mrs. Eisenhower, and leave. That's what I do. Anybody from Republican families? Anybody? Oh, God, look at that. Yeah. Where'd you grow up?
Kansas.
Kansas. Oh, of course. That's mandatory. God, you know. I had a summer job in Kansas. It was the hardest job ever. My job was to go around the entire state of Kansas. Whenever a cow would take a shit, I'd have to put down a sign that said highest point in Kansas. I have a joke for every fucking state. What part of Kansas?
Kansas City.
Oh, Kansas City. Well, that's not too bad. Got your ride home, sir? Or got you laid? I don't know what it is. I don't know.
It's me, Carl.
Oh, who is that?
It's KC.
Oh, hey, Casey. Casey Hansen, chair of the Democratic Party of Oregon. Give Casey a round of applause. So, Casey's a lesbian. Neither is getting laid with this arrangement tonight. Oh, you don't care? Okay, good. Well, we're not in Kansas anymore. That's what I gotta say. Let's all click our heels 3 times. All right. So family was Republican, right? Start with my grandmother. My mother's mother on my radar. She was so Republican. She refused to carry a Roosevelt dime until the day she died. At 6 years old, I remember I'd hold a Dixie cup at the lip of her vanity. She'd push the Roosevelt dimes into the cup, and they would go back to the bank and keep the Liberty heads. Unbelievable. She was a piece of work, I'm telling you. She hated Catholics, so we grew up Lutheran, hated Catholics, and everything was like, well, she talked smack about Jews, Catholics, homosexuals, and black people. That was who she was. Here's the good part, though. My oldest sister married a Jewish man. My next oldest sister married a Catholic. I'm gay, and my youngest sister married a black man. Absolute gospel. My grandmother has rolled over in her grave so many times she's rotated her way to China, ladies and gentlemen. And she didn't care for Asians, so it's perfect. It's also true, at her funeral in Pittsburgh in 1981, after everyone left the gravesite, I threw in a Kennedy $50 and a Roosevelt dime. She's buried with 60 cents of Democrats, whether she likes it or not. Right. And of course, this all transferred to my mother. My mother, you know, I'd go down and visit her in Florida. She got Fox News on everywhere. This is the typical visit with my mother. She accidentally bleached my Obama T-shirt. So I set fire to her Glenn Beck Christmas sweater. You know. Yeah, I like that. You know, every time she would drop me off in the airport, I'd slap a Jesus is a liberal bumper sticker on a big Buick. Make her ride around Florida with that for a couple months. And then I had of course, I wanted to introduce Gary. We met in '97, and I flew Gary to Florida in '98 to meet my mom, which was, you know, my Fox watching mom. And it was like, we're eating dinner. She looks across. She goes, now which one of you is gay? I was like, which one of you needs Thorazine, Mom? 'Cause, you know, which she followed up with, we didn't have homosexuals in the 1950s. Well, somebody put the fins in those Cadillacs. Somebody did those beehive hairdos. We have a lesbian friend, Jenny, who also has a right-wing mother in Florida. She came after her mother, and her mother goes, what's next, Jenny? Heroin? Lesbianism, the gateway drug. I think it's very important that everyone come out, and everyone was saying it, and Harvey Milk said it well, we have to come out because our stories are important. I think there are a lot of people from history who were gay. Alan Turing, who invented the modern computer. John Maynard Keynes, who invented modern macroeconomics. George Santos, who invented everything, really. And there are a lot of people in history who I'm sure were gay, we just don't have evidence or don't know. I'm thinking maybe Marco Polo, for one. I'm thinking about it, late 13th century, Mongols have sacked Europe, Crusaders have sacked the Middle East. He's off looking for silks and spices, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, if you're a gay man in the year 1271, you just want a comfy caftan and a little nutmeg, really? Take the edge off the bloodshed, that's what I say. What I don't get are gay Republicans. Oh my God. Log cabin Republicans, although they changed their name now to LGBTQ and on. That's keeping up with the times. I saw something in Portland today I have never seen. I have to say I saw a car with Washington plates going the correct way down a one-way street. Anyone from Washington here? I should ask. Wow, okay. I will say something great about Washington. I do a lot of shows in Washington, and I was in Stevenson, Washington last week, and Washington voters, the best. In the year 2012, they did something no other state's voters ever did. They approved legal pot and gay marriage on the same day. Give it up for Washington voters. They were just instructing this that people were reading Leviticus incorrectly. It said if a man sleeps with a man, he should be stoned. So, I love the diversity of Portland. Gary and I have been here 22 years. I wouldn't live in any place without diversity. I think it's essential to life. And our dry cleaner, Mrs. Lee, is from Korea. Doesn't speak much English, but she's extremely funny, which is the universal language humor. And a couple of years ago, I took in these jeans, actually. I had a little, you point out the stain on the jeans. There's a little red mark right here. She goes, "Is it the lipstick?" And, I don't know if anyone listened to KPOJ when I was on the air, but it was a great experience to be a progressive voice for Oregon. And people always tell me, my mother would say this to me, it's always so easy to be a liberal in Portland. I get this everywhere I travel. Oh, it's so easy to be a liberal in Portland. I'm here to tell you, not really easy being a liberal in Portland, Oregon. My last story before I start the show is, and this will illustrate, after 6 years on KPOJ, 2012, 3 days after President Obama won re-election, the Clear Channel flipped the format from progressive talk to syndicated sports, and it was really one of the most awful days of my life, because it was my dream job. I loved being on the radio. It was incredible, and so I was just stunned. I didn't have any warning. So I'm driving home, and we've all had these moments in our lives when, flashes before you, what am I going to do now? This is a terrible loss. How do I tell Gary? All this. I'm driving home, really at the lowest point in my life, and I drive into the garage, and I pull the garage door down and keep the car running, and thought, I'm just going to end it. And after about 20 minutes, I realized I have an electric car. That's my time. Thank you very much. Not easy to be a Portland liberal. It's really fun to be a Portland liberal tonight. We have an incredible show for you tonight. Our next 4 performers, each get about 20 minutes, and you're going to wish they did even longer than 20 minutes. And we're going to get it started with, really, she's everyone's favorite drag auntie. She's fabulous. Please welcome Lala, ladies and gentlemen. Lala,
Thank you. Y'all heard that? Your favorite drag auntie. And I know what some of y'all are thinking, because y'all are all white. When did my family start integrating? I didn't know they allowed blacks in my family. Well, they did. And it's me. And I said, auntie. Auntie is an energy, it's a feeling. It doesn't mean relations or relatives. But if you need relations, unlike Bill Clinton, I can make that happen. I can be inside of any one of your family members. or them inside of me. With consent, of course. Yes. Woo woo woo. If you don't know, that's my mating call. You know I'm in the function. I just say woo woo woo. Works at bar mitzvahs, funerals, drag shows, I don't know, any competition, all the things. And that's me. So I'm just woo woo woo. Hashtag woo 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 girl. As an auntie, and I want to be clear, if you haven't, I'm from the South. I'm afflicted with a little bug. A beautiful place called Texas. Soy tejano, como que Selena. And so I, it doesn't come out often. I just want to be understood. I'm gay also, as you can tell. And so I have a deep need to be, understood, relatable, liked, loved, filled up with affection. And other currencies. Maybe white, maybe pearly, who knows. Comes in different colors, tastes, anyways, but I have a deep need for attention. And so I decided to be gay. We all know gay is not a choice, but being a drag queen is, right? Oh yeah, I'm a drag queen. Your favorite drag queen auntie. And so, being a Texan, a Southern, we say things. Auntie, I did not say aunt. I did not say aunt. That's reserved for your actual parent siblings, okay? I'm just a fictional character in this thing we call life. And auntie is a feeling. And I chose to be an auntie because it's the best thing in life. You get to say whatever the fuck you want. Do whatever the fuck you want. And have 0 kids. I'm your favorite auntie because, I'm the auntie that comes to the cookout late and then leaves early. Probably late because dick was involved. Leaving early because you gotta go to the club because dick might be involved later. I'm your favorite auntie because I tell it like it is. I say what needs to be unsaid, or not needs, no. I say what is not said, right? Impulsive. I'm an auntie because I struggle with impulsivity. And, I just want to say what the fuck I want. And I realized, you know what? You know who can say or do whatever they want? Aunties. And here I am. I show up. Applause. Oh, clapping. Stop it. I show up and I'm the one that teaches the little cousins, the little nieces, the little nephews. I'm like, go ahead, make auntie her drink like she taught you. You know where your mama, yeah, go ahead, put a little floater. That's right. And get you where you need to go. The floater. Mama's auntie's happy juice. And they're like, okay, cool, thank you. All right. I'm the one that gives away all the secrets. I'm like, your mama was a hoe. She acting all holier than thou, but that bitch is a hoe. She was never gonna be shit. But she's acting nice, but that's me. Aunties teach the lessons that need to be taught. Because as your parents, they're like, oh, they don't even know what they're doing. They like, accidentally had you. Chose the role and stuck to the course. Aunties, fuck the course, bitch. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna teach you, I'm gonna tell you the things that you really need to know. Auntie lessons. Like, we love dental hygiene. It's important. But maybe not floss your teeth right before the hookup. We don't want open wounds and open mouths. Lessons. Y'all are writing this down, stop it. Only things you can learn from your favorite drag auntie. Lessons from an auntie. Always look down. When you're leaving a club, right? You can find many things. Money, drugs. Let's be real, I'm a product of the 90s, dare to be different, and I did. Look down. I look at my job as an auntie, as like harm reduction, and that sounds like some fancy term. I don't know why that like harm reduction. We have a counselor, your counselor there? Harm reduction just means like you can still do your shit, but like how can we reduce the harm that it causes? So you like to do crack. How can we do crack safely? That's me. Auntie, your harm reduction counselor. And then your parents are like actual, hardcore 12-step abstinence programs. So let's be real. How many of y'all abstain from sex before marriage? It's not. That's not. Is that realistic? I did too, actually. As an auntie, I've been married 17 times. Engaged. I'm sure my husband here tonight. Who's the lucky one? I'm your auntie, the harm reduction, right? So it's like, how can we do these things like safely? So like, look down. You never know when you're leaving a club and there might be some, fun little booger chalk. That, you need to do. Now your mama would say, don't take drugs from strangers. Don't do illicit things. But your auntie's like, now listen, maybe not do a whole rail, but do a small keep up. Wait 5 minutes, talk to your friends, get a second opinion. And if it burns, it probably was ketamine, and if you feel numb, that was cocaine. See, as an auntie, y'all think we're just dumb, y'all think we're stupid, but we're good. We're like a Jane of all trades, I skipped chemistry, but I do know things about drugs and the things, right? I do. Your mama don't know shit about chemistry, but your auntie does. In the words of Beyonce, I don't know much about algebra, but 1 + 1 = 2. Which is not a quadratic equation, and she was not talking about algebra. But I am. So, as an auntie, I don't say cocaine or ketamine, booger sugar, and booger vitamins. Booger sugar and booger vitamins, or booger chalk, until you find out what it really is. When you do the process of harm reduction. So, as like I said, I'm an auntie, and I feel like I should give the origins of that. I come from a long line of aunties, a long line. I got my name, Lala. from my Aunt Jay, and her name is Yolanda. You're like, Yolanda, Aunt Jay, how does that work? The J is silent. And no, she's not Latina, she's black. But we just like to add letters and it's fun. So my full name is Lalonda Benet, Lala for short. And then the Benet, you know, my slave name was Bennett. Any Bennetts in here? No? All right, cool. It's a common name. But Benet is French and it's fancier. It has an accent. And as an auntie, you know, we're fancy, and it just fits. Lala Benet. You know, I'm like a freak hoe, but hoe is spelled H-E-A-U-X. Because it's fancy. And Bennett, I have another aunt, and her name is my Aunt Honey. And you can't tell, but like I said, I'm black, and her name is not spelled H-O-N-E-Y. It's H-O-N-E-E with an accent. And it's not pronounced Honey. Miss Honey! Miss Honey! It's Honey. My favorite aunt. Well, one of my favorite aunts. A lot of my favorite aunts. But that's where the accent also comes from. It's French, and, you know, I've had a Frenchman in me before, so. I chose this persona, and actually, you don't choose the auntie life chooses you. Also, your siblings might fuck and have an offspring, and then you gotta be there for them. Or not, you know. That's the best part of being an auntie. You don't actually gotta care for them. They don't care. They don't cry or like, where are you going? And drag on like they're used to you being that bitch that comes in and comes out. Is there reluctantly. And they are better off for it. As the auntie, I give my lessons. It's an attitude, it's a feeling, it's a way of life. It's a being, you know? And so choosing my persona as the auntie, I decided, I was like, okay, how can I just be my natural, effervescent, cute, cunty, irresponsible, anal self, but be real natural. Like, you know, like not trying too hard. How can I disguise my ADHD and my anxiety and my trauma? And I was like, you know what? My opinions, I'll just be an auntie, right? Because aunties just say the shit, they do the unsolicited bullshit. Like, you know, you ain't never asked, but an auntie's gonna tell you. And I was like, that's the perfect way to disguise it. I'll be an auntie. I'll be all my favorite aunties in one. And I'm gonna call her Lala. Lalonda Benet. Because it's fancy. And so that's what I do. And now I have an excuse to say whatever the fuck I want. And then blame it on the auntie-ism. I'm so auntie, and this is where you say, how auntie is you? I'm so auntie.
How auntie is you?
That, you know what, I put Vaseline on my toes before I slip them into my tight shoes, bitch. Moisturization, that's also a lesson. If you moisturize, and also another lesson, you can wear the cute shoes and get the cute little toe cleavage. If it's open toe and open heel, you can go 2 sizes down. Ouch. Well, not with that attitude. Ouch. Okay, you've never worn some cute shoes, you know, so you gotta have it. I'm so auntie.
How auntie is you?
My favorite color is animal print. Right? You know, short wig, little pixie, animal print, little ocelot. cheetah, leopard, sorry, see my accent's coming out, I took out some accents. Leopard, black, what's another, zebra, love a zebra. I'm so anti.
How anti is you?
My nightstand, the drawer in my nightstand is full of silk bonnets. Do y'all know what that is? I know we're in Portland. I'm like, what are y'all? Silk bonnet. You know, black people, we don't actually look like this. Like, it takes a lot of work and a lot of moisture. I know y'all white folks, y'all don't need moisture. Well, y'all do need it, but you don't use it. But because our shit is dry, we need to add the extra things, and then you don't want it on your pillowcase and it gets the gunk, so I got a whole plethora of, I got a do-rag, y'all know do-rags, the hoodlums y'all been talking about. I got do-rags, I got silk bonnets, I got, you know, African silkworm, spun, nice yarn shit. I got the shit from Target. Lord knows, I don't need 15 bonnets, but I do need 15 bonnets in my nightstand. I do. Because I'm an auntie. As an auntie, I'm trying to think of another lesson that I have for the girls. One of my go-tos as the favorite auntie. You know, I'm so auntie.
How auntie is you?
Well, I'm the drunk aunt, but the sober aunt that gives great advice. That aunt, both. She makes sense, but she's a fool. But still she makes sense, and she's like, wow, that's deep. That's me. That's me. Your favorite drag auntie. Telling you. So, what are y'all aunts like? What are white people aunts like? That's the questions I ask myself to sleep. I'm like, okay, when you think about yourself and why you chose this character. Like I said, I chose it because I get impulsivity. I can say what the fuck I want. It hides my ADHD. I just do what I'm like, but what about white aunts? They're crazy. But you know, the fact is, oh, white aunts, sorry. I don't see any here. No Susans, no. And Georgettes, no? Okay, cool. I think we're cool, we're in the clear. You know, them hoes is crazy. The closest thing that I am to a white aunt is that I have a cat. That's right. I'm a single black female. I'm a single black female raising a black cat. He's not black. He's brindle. But he's being raised by me. So I talk to him like a black child. And you know, the thing about cats is you can't tell a cat how to cat. They're just gonna do what they're gonna do. But in my house, where I pay the bills, you're gonna do as I say. And don't get crazy. I had some friends over, and you know, as an auntie, you come into my house, you gonna get fed. I cook, I clean, I do all the things. Yeah, I don't want you coming to my house and you know, talking shit like, Lala ain't feed me, I was hungry, I was in there starving. You ain't gonna come to my house and talk shit, and have anything bad to say. And you know, when you're young and your parents are like, they wanna like, they prep you, like, don't do this, don't do that. When people come over, you gotta act right, act right. You can't give a cat the same speech. Act right, it's just my house. Anyways, I'm doing my auntie shit, I'm cooking, I'm doing this, and my friends are watching, I got the ambiance, everything set, and I don't let my cat on the counters and on tables and all the things. That's weird. It's unsanitary, and it's just, we can't do that. And also, I wasn't even raised with cats. I was raised with dogs. And my grandma apparently is allergic to cats. And she was like, I'm gonna come over, but you ain't got one of them cats that be all up on the counters and things. I was like, oh no. He'd be on the counters. But I bought one of these little training things where like it puffs air, so it keeps him off the counters. And I trained him to make sure he wasn't on my counters or my table. And we good, so I put it away. I was like, we're good. And here I got people over, I got company. White folks. And I don't know, but my cat done lost his mind and jumped on the counter. And I said, nigga, if you don't get your ass off these counters! And I can say it, right? There were white people in the house, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, I'm sorry. I just have a black cat. I'm raising a black cat. Won't let me talk. He lost his goddamn mind. He wants to get the fuck off my counters. So they told us we got 20 minutes, right? And I was like, okay, is there a timer? Is there a blinking light? I was like, how do we know? It's like, you know, time is subjective. You know, it's giving like, you know, dick measurements. It's like, they say 8, but did they mean, like, what is it? Like, I don't know what time was. It feels like 20. So we're gonna go with that. That's my time.
Good job. Give it up. Lala Benet, ladies and gentlemen. Raising a black cat. Lala. Right. Yeah. I almost wore that exact outfit. One more time for Lala. I think we should sign her up opening for Mike Pence rallies, don't you think? Oh, can you imagine that? Oh my God. You don't see a show like this in the Deep South, you know. It's like, it was always difficult for me to perform in the Deep South. I was in Pamplona, Alabama for the Running of the Rednecks, and I was gored by their sharp intellect. And I'll tell you one place you should go just once is Arkansas, because you'll see shit in Arkansas you will not see anywhere else. One time I was in Arkansas, I saw a 12-year-old girl smoking right in front of her children. It was, there she is, one more time for Lala. Pleasure to bring Daniel Lewkow to the stage now. Yeah, it's okay, let Daniel know. I'm teaching my 10th and 11th classes here at Comedy Sports since last fall when I started, and Daniel was in my first class. I just think the world of him, and I really didn't have to teach him much because he's so naturally funny. He also reminded me to remind you that he's single. Which is probably the reason why he's performing tonight. But no, he's extremely funny, one of the nicest guys you'll ever want to meet. Please welcome Daniel Lewkow, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. I was so worried my show would be too profane, but now I'm not so concerned. I will give you a content warning though. My show is R-rated. I talk about drugs, I talk about sex. I'm going to do it all in the privacy of this 30,000 person arena. Which, by the way, I was told I'd be performing at the Moda Center. There's one important thing to know about me before the show starts to make sense of my set. I'm going to tell you something very personal, and that I am gay. Feels so good to come out. Now I just got to tell my wife. Wherever she is. It's actually a really good time for gay representation. Because we have a lot of powerful gay people in the corridors of power. We have our gay governor. We have gay senators. We have George Santos. We got him. And of course we have Pete Buttigieg, who is the Secretary of Transportation. And someone said the highest ranking gay person out gay person in US political history.
Yeah.
Aside from Alan. But I actually have a lot of issues with this because I don't think Pete is gay. I think, and stay with me on this one, I think Pete is in a same-sex relationship, but that doesn't make you gay. Because Pete lives a very heteronormative lifestyle. I mean, he's like never even done ketamine in a Wendy's before. Being gay means you only know your hookups by their Instagram handles. It means sucking 3 dicks at a bathhouse and then 12 hours later picking blueberries at the farmer's market. It means taking 12 loaves in 2 hours and then playing in a soccer tournament. That's not Pete. That's not Pete at all. Pete had a child on purpose. I mean, a guy puts on a condom for a blowjob. It's not us. Anyway, enough about politics. It's actually, I really appreciate you all being here, because it is a show on the longer side, and you have to really summon your focus and attention spans to be here. And at this time, our attention spans are getting shorter because Instagram and TikTok. And so I really appreciate the people who can do things like watch a full movie or come to a full comedy show. And I'm gonna do you all a solid. I'm gonna give you all a break. I'm gonna give you a 15-second break. And for 15 seconds, I'm not gonna talk. And this is a chance for you to close your eyes and take a breath and check your phone. This isn't a trap. This is 15 seconds. Starting now. Okay, break's over. And I found 8 of you on Grindr. And 5 have not responded to me yet. It's so great to be here among neighbors and friends and people I've sent news to. I really appreciate you all coming out to our October show. It's hard to commit to anything during Libra season. And which I also love that about gays. We're really into astrology, we love zodiac signs. You talk to any bottom, and they're always oh, the sun being here at this time when you were born means these 3 things about your personality. And I'm okay, we are at the DMV. I just need to renew my license. All signs are great, but 3 are greater. Greater and more controversial. So the 3 most controversial signs are Leos, Geminis, and Scorpios. Leos, Geminis, Scorpios, the 3 most controversial signs. Leos are controversial because we have a big personality. I'm a Leo, obviously. But Leos are controversial because they have a big personality. Everyone loves a Leo, but everyone loves a Leo. Are there any Leos here?
Yes.
You need to leave. I have to be the hottest one here. It's a medical thing. Are there any Scorpios here? Okay, we get it. Are there any Geminis here? So let them in. Comedy sports, what the fun. I feel like y'all didn't even like read my contract. This is the part where I have to do some crowd work. Because every comedian does crowd work, and if you're on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, the up-and-comers always have really great like crowd work videos. I gotta do that too. This is my first time ever doing it. I've never done crowd work before, so I really hope I can make it fun and exciting for you all. What's your name?
Michael.
Hey, Michael.
Hey.
What do you do for a living, Michael?
Wait, what?
What do you do for a living, Michael?
I'm a corporate trainer.
You're a corporate trainer?
Yes.
Cool. Anyway, I love Pride. I love Pride. It's my favorite time of the year. And this last summer, I went to Pride in Seattle, Washington. And I was with a group of gays. And we had a great time. And we went to this club called Cuff. And Cuff is like a wonderful experience, but it's very stereotypically gay club. It's like thumping music, dark, people have their shirts off. No one's honoring Christ. And I showed up, and full transparency, I was high. And I don't usually do drugs. Get out! I don't usually do drugs besides ketamine, Molly, mushrooms, and cocaine. But just say no. But we were all dancing in a circle, and someone just like passed some white powder around, and I just did it. And my friend Tyler was like, was that ketamine or cocaine? And I was like, And he's like, oh, who gave it to you? So I was really high, and I looked across the room and I locked eyes with this guy. He was very attractive, like a Tacoma 12. Very cute. We have instant connection. We're like dancing together, we're making out, it's getting hot and heavy. I'm a little embarrassed about this, but I went down on him on the floor. I have never performed oral sex on someone in public, but he said he went to MIT. And the Massachusetts Institute of Technology is one of the hardest schools to get into. So, but it was like, I went down on him. It was a very short interaction, like longer than Eric McCarthy was speaker. But shorter than Oppenheimer. So I went down on him, interaction ends, we each go separate ways. I run up to my friend Clay, and I'm like, Clay, you'll never guess what happened. And he goes, oh, I saw the video. And I guess one of my other friends had secretly like taken this video of me going down on this guy. And I'm actually like pretty upset about it. Because now I have to set up an IMDb page. And I did not want to join the actor strike. So the club shuts down, we're all going home. I'm still feeling like really horny. So I go on Grindr.org. It's a nonprofit. So I go on Grindr and I see the guy. And I'm like, okay, I message him like, do you want to come over to my place and hook up? And he's like, yes, absolutely. And like, he's like, I'll be there in 15 minutes. But the moment after I sent that, the friend who I was staying with was like, I'm sorry, you can't hook up here. I'm exhausted. I need to go to sleep. It's a small 1-bedroom. You can't sleep here, or you can't like have sex here, but you can go to the abandoned porch next door. Because there's a vacant house next door and it's got a secret abandoned porch. And I know you're thinking this is crazy. Like you're hooking up with a guy who's totally random, 3 o'clock in the morning, it's outdoors, it's in Seattle. And I would counter by saying, that the Massachusetts Institute of Technology is one of the top-ranked schools in America. And so I'm outside, I'm waiting for him, and he approaches. Like, I just see him on the sidewalk, he's coming to me, but like doesn't wave or like smile, just like complete stone face, no blinking, walks directly up to me, like he's going to hand me a letter of people I have to kill. And so I'm like, all right, let's go with this. So I take his hand, I lead him across the yard, through the bushes, up the stairs to this abandoned house. He does not ask a single question. Like, where are we going? Why are we hooking up outside? What do you do for a living? So we have sex. I make my deposit. After it's done, we're just like putting on our clothes in complete silence, and it's so uncomfortable. I'm trying to think of something to say to fill the void, and like it doesn't feel like the right time to bring up the Trump indictment. So I'm thinking about the right thing to say, and I just blurt out, "You have a great penis." And y'all, he gave me the best response I've ever gotten in my life. Hands down, I've been on this planet for 36 years, never gotten a response to a compliment like this, and it will stay with me. And this is all very true. I say, "You have a nice penis," and he goes, "Thank you." And then he turns and walks off into the night. I was floored. And I was like, that guy just like disappeared into the darkness. And there's only one logical explanation. He's been dead for 40 years. And he just haunts the neighborhood and does not return compliments. The postscript on this is that the city of Seattle knocked down that house 3 months later. Because it's like cheaper than cleaning the porch. It's a medical thing. But the postscript on this is that he texted me about a week later and he said, "Hey, just to let you know, my test results came back positive for syphilis. You should go get tested." And I was like, oh my God, syphilis, that's very serious. I went down to Multnomah County Health, I got tested. They said, wait a couple of days, we'll come back, we'll call you with the results. I'm like, okay. So I wait a couple of days and they call me and they say, well, you don't have syphilis, but we did find gonorrhea. So, and I did not wear a condom, obviously. I'm not Pete Buttigieg. We have established this. And here's my opinion on condoms. And you have to listen. If we're having sex and you secretly take a condom off without my knowing, that's fucked up. We don't do that. But if we're having sex and you secretly put a condom on, I'm offended. Because you promised me your seed, and if I don't get it, I will sue you. And like, why would you, like, what about me says, like, you should back up? Like, what is the red flag here? You're like, I gotta put something on. Is it that I drink milk? Because I'm really concerned about osteoporosis. And I'm sorry, but Green Day's a really good band, and I will not apologize for that. And you're like, no, no, no. I just saw the video, too. Thank you all.
Daniel Lewkow, ladies and gentlemen. Daniel Lewkow! Wow. So many of you know Daniel. Daniel, good job. One more time for Daniel. What's your name?
Michael.
Oh, good. Where do you work, Michael? What do you do?
I'm a corporate trainer.
Really? Corporate trainer? Do you use a harness for that? More of the class. nice penis. Thanks for the fucking gonorrhea. You're a good guy. So you got a, is that a, what is that?
It's Help Me Walk.
Oh, Help You Walk. Okay, good for you. So, you know, I'm glad you haven't hauled anyone off the stage with it. There's a lot of power with a weapon in the front row. It really is. If you're interested in taking the class that Daniel took, and by the way, when Daniel first came to my class, he didn't even speak English. Now he can say gonorrhea. No, we have a great time in the class. PortlandComedy.com is a place to sign up. As I mentioned, are you guys together? How many years?
30 years.
30 years! Oh my God! No wonder Michael has a weapon. That's 4 years more than Gary and me, you know? It's a long time. 3 months ago, Gary said, he's very funny. He is. Gary's hilarious. He said something really funny. I said, oh, you should take my class. He goes, oh, I've taken that class. 26 years, you know? I said to him a couple months ago, am I bothering you? He goes, now or in general? Dinner conversations are scintillating too. You know. This year we're eating and he goes, is there anything worse than hard butter? I'm thinking, genocide? So we just got a dog 10 days ago, a little rescue dog. Thank you. Good. We've had cats, a couple cats, another couple cats. We decided to become lesbians, get a dog. And the dog is wonderful, very joyful, playful. It's a rescue and loves the walks, loves the treats, loves the food. But the dog is entirely bonded with Gary and not me. Just, you know, always Gary. Gary leaves the house, the dog is whimpering at the window until Gary gets back. The other day he said, I'm going to the store, I'll be right back. I said, don't tell me, tell her. Always on Gary's lap, sleeps with Gary, and I realize now they are in a relationship. It's a throuple at best. And what really galls me though is Rick Santorum was right. I got gay married and now my husband's with a dog. Stick with the cats. All right, you ready for this cavalcade to continue, ladies and gentlemen? Nick Altishin will be on soon, and it's a real pleasure to bring Mama Fee to the stage. She's a Portland native, extremely funny. Those two often go together, and you're going to see tonight. She also MCs and hosts on Thursday nights at 10 p.m. An open mic at the Fun House Theater. So please welcome Mama Fee, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, the fabulous!
How are you doing? What a fun bunch. Look at us go. Yeah, fucking queers, am I right? Yeah. Wow, this is great. This is nice. Oh my gosh. Ooh, what's your name?
Clay.
Clay? Nice. Clay, if you were a genre of music, what would you be?
At the moment, indie folk.
Indie folk? Oh, I fuck with that. Why that though?
I'm just going through a hard time, and I'm wearing beanies and.
Well, this is a safe space. The straights go outside. I don't know who told y'all. No, I feel that. I love indie folk. What about you?
God, one spot. Just pick something. Disco.
Disco? Why did you say disco?
Oh, he just like lives disco.
He lives disco? Yeah, in army print. Yeah, that's disco. Very disco. I love that. Yeah, I feel like if I were a genre of music, I'd be R&B because I'm Russian and black. I'm Russian, black, and convinced my parents' meeting purely based off of miscommunication. I think my dad walked into a bar, ordered a white Russian, and out came my mother. I'm convinced that's what happened. I actually asked my dad how they met, and I wasn't that far off. You know, they did meet at a bar, but my mom came to that bar with her brother, my uncle, but my dad didn't know it was her brother. I mean, how could he, you know? So he did the gentleman thing and waited for my uncle to use the bathroom to shoot his shot. That's what he did. And clearly, he didn't miss. Cum joke. All right. Yeah, growing up, Russian was cool though. I got to have 2 birthdays, 2 Christmases, 2 Easters. It was like having the perks of the divorce my parents should have gotten, you know? It was great. Yeah, when I was first born, I was so pale as a baby. My dad was livid. I mean, he was convinced that my mom had cheated on him, which like she did, but that was later, you know? Don't know why he got so mad so early, you know? Yeah, growing up black in Portland's been fun, you know. I took a bus to get here tonight, and a woman saw me, clutched her purse, and switched seats. Yeah, no, y'all, it's okay. She was wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt. It's okay. I think her logic was, Black Lives Matter! From over there, please. Yeah, I love making white people uncomfortable. It's my favorite. Oh my God, thank you. That's how I know I'm doing it right. I love it. Yeah, I teach my friend Chelsea the other day. I was like, Chelsea, we should go get some coffee. She's like, I can't be. I have work. I said, Black lives don't matter. Just say that. Damn, y'all are great. How y'all feel about strippers? How do we feel? I love that. I got that vibe. Fun fact about Portland. Portland has the most strip clubs per capita. Yeah, one of which is vegan. We have a vegan strip club, which I personally think is so neat. Because whenever I see a pair of titties, I'm always like, you know what would make this better? Tofu. You know? Fucking love it. Fucking love it. Yeah, you know, you get asked a lot of questions when you come out as a stripper, as I clearly am. And one of the, like, a few questions would be like, oh, like, how much do you make in a night? What's your favorite song to dance to? Has anyone ever done coke off your ass? Which, first of all, yes, and it tickled. Second, you don't have to be a stripper for that. Am I low to this crowd? Y'all know that. So, yeah, I also recently started telling my customers I do stand-up, and that's been fun. I told one customer I do stand-up comedy, and he looked at me dumbfounded, y'all. He looked at me dumbfounded, and he was like, you feel comfortable performing in front of a bunch of strangers? I was like, well, Bill, what's natural to me, I guess, I don't know. No, Bill, I got issues. Stage fright, just not one of them, you know? Yeah, see, what I struggle with is self-awareness. It always hits me at the most inconvenient times. Like, I was hooking up with this woman twice my age, and while on the brink of an orgasm, I was like, oh my God, this is a direct result of my mommy issues. You felt that, I heard that. And you'll probably feel this next part too, because I was just like, damn. And all I could do was finished. I finished. Because being called a good girl by a woman who treats you better than your mother every day just hits different, you know? The guilt that comes after has nothing to do with the fact that you didn't finish, because you did. And, added bonus, if they're older than you get chicken nuggets after. So, I'll take a win where I can get it, okay? Yeah. Man, I'm queer, but another thing that I struggle with being queer is I can't tell when people are flirting with me. I can't tell. I mean, I can tell when men are flirting with me, you know, because I feel uncomfortable, but when it's a woman, I still can't tell, because straight girls like to have these little bits where they're like, oh my God, I had 2 lemon drops. I want to kiss a girl. That's so funny, because I'm sober and I still want to fuck one. So, that's the difference between me and you, Brittany. You trying to bump fists or bump coochies? I'm down for either. Just gotta let me know. I feel like this can best be described through song. Can I sing for y'all? Is it okay? Is there a mic stand by chance I can use for this?
Yes, it'll take a minute, but we'll do it.
Okay, thank you. You know what, I got a minute. Fun fact about that joke I just told, Wayne Brady actually followed me from that joke that I posted, and then 2 days later came out as pansexual, so you're welcome. Catch me on whose line is it? The robot? No, I'm playing. I'm playing. Let's see, is everyone else from Portland? Any Portland natives in here? Hell yeah. Why are we proud of that? Why? Why are we?
You get a different mic.
Oh my god. I'm different. Thank you so much. You make some noise. Come on. Thank you. All right. Ooh, look at me. God, I'm so extra. All right. This one goes out to the straight girls who've never had a song dedicated to them. Oh, just like me, can't stay straight. All right. Oh, bless your heart. See, we're right there. Okay. Are you gay or just queer baiting? Shouldn't be room for any debating. Is this just some silly bit? Or are you down for rubbing clips? Maybe you're just nice, which is cool, you totally can be. Just know if you get with feet, you don't have to take a plan B. So extra. Hi, I'm back. Yeah, let's see. God, did I take? I did. We're good. We're good. We're good. No mini mama fees coming out. Yeah. So how do we feel about like the dating apps? How do we feel? Y'all some liars. That's what I'm saying. I saw you. No, I'm single, but I am seeing someone, you know, it's nothing serious. We've only been seeing each other for about 7 years, and we're not exclusive, totally by choice. Totally by choice. And I'm gonna be honest, y'all, it's not working out, but okay, so it didn't work out, and but it's okay, it's cool. We're still friends, you know. On Facebook, I'm blocked on everything else, but it's okay. I'm back on the apps, and I think my favorite one by far is Hinge. Hinge is my favorite dating app right now. I love the voice memo aspect. For those pretending like you don't know what Hinge is, they have this little voice memo effect where you can actually send voice memos, which I think is helpful because you can use it for when you're, you know, trying to show someone how to pronounce your name properly, or send them 2 minutes of you freestyling based off of their profile. Thank you so much. Thank you. So this is for anyone who who's like, you know what, I've been single. I think I miss being single, and no, you don't. So we're just gonna
looking at you every page. It's cool. Comedy. A creative tool. Streaming with the nightmares, game little nightmares. Going in like solar flares. Inspired this little freestyle. Maybe we could chill, but it'll be a while. Till then, cause I'ma be in Portland. The end of June, maybe I will see you then.
So I haven't gotten laid since June, and you know what? No, don't you try tight. Now, if y'all don't know that song, the chorus goes like this. The chorus goes like this. Rich nigga, 8-figure, that's my type. All right, that's the first part of the chorus. The second part is, yeah, I see you. Careful which one you're lip syncing though, baby. Okay, but remember, I love making white people uncomfortable. It's my favorite. Okay, anyways. Yeah, so the first part of the song goes, rich nigga, 8-figure, that's my type. The second part goes, 8-inch big, oof, that's good pipe, right? Now I'm at the club with my friends, and at the time my man as well. We're dancing, throwing it back as we should. My ex sees me singing the song and runs out the club. Like, I was just like, what the hell? So I go after him. I'm like, baby, what's wrong? He's like, well, clearly I ain't your type. I'm like, baby, what do you mean? And he's like, well, you sing the song like you damn near wrote it. And I was like, you know what, words of affirmation are my specialty, you know? So I was like, I can regret the lyrics for him. So I was like, smart, educated nigga, that's my type. But that wasn't enough for him. He's like, what about the other part? I said, the 8-inch, like, mm-hmm. He ain't pecking, but at least he make me laugh, right? Is that what you want? Baby, I can only do so much. Oh, man, yeah, so, just to clarify, I am queer, but if there were a subcategory, I feel like I slide right under homoflexible, you know, gay but shit happens. And, with the shit that happens, it can be really inconvenient. Like, I was seeing this woman, my age, and I decided to take her out on a really special date, you know? I planned out a nice little picnic at the park, got her at the Marnelli's, because the bitch is romantic. And then after, we had a nice romantic stroll to Planned Parenthood. Because charcuterie is great, but carcucci, that's where I'm trying to be, you feel me? But we got tested, and she came back negative. Good for her. And I came back positive with the baby. And if there was ever a time to wish you had an STD. That was it. I feel like God's favorite game is Uno on account that he keeps trying to hit me with a draw 1. And then I just gotta keep hitting him back with Uno reverse, which in my case is just a plan B. In some cases, plan C, which is just another trip to Planned Parenthood. That was an abortion joke. Listen, I just wanted to make sure y'all got that, because one time a young lady shouted out, but I don't get it. And I said, baby, that's okay, because abortion jokes are like abortions, you know? Some people get them more than others. So, you're gonna love this next one. This one's for my fellow baby makers, or chef de la fetus, if you will. You ever joke about being pregnant so many times that God decides to deliver you a punchline? And then because you didn't get the joke, he takes it back. That was a miscarriage joke. Yeah, miscarriage jokes are like miscarriages. Are they uncomfortable? Yeah. But will we get past this? Fucking hope so. No, y'all don't feel bad about laughing at miscarriage jokes. At least mine, you know, because I think they're funny. And apparently God does too. Because, like, why would he give me so many? You know? Still single. All right, I think I'd like to play you off with 2 songs, if that's okay. Y'all have been wonderful. Give it up for yourselves. All right, this one is a really special one. It comes from the heart. This one goes out if you've dated a man. I can end the song there. Thank you. 2 more songs. This is not the crowd for that. Silly me, alright. Recently I went off birth control, 'cause the side effects were taking its toll. And then I realized that aside for my love of cream pies, I had to take them for a reason. Though my name's Mama, I don't have my own kin. I had to take them for my endometriosis. Period cramps. All right. And my last, thank you so much. My last and final song for y'all. Before I sing this, who grew up religious? Who grew up? All right. I'm gonna preface this by also saying this may not be applicable to some of y'all, and you'll get why when we get to the chorus. But I think it's a fun way to bring the room together. This goes out to y'all and men who like kitty. All right. This one goes out if you grew up religious. You probably struggle finding where the clit is. Fellas, you know you're just rubbing on her thighs. Don't know why you have such a weird hat for the Pope, or why you insist washing your mouth with soap. But oh my God, that loophole is still a hole. I'm talking about anal. Anal sex is still real sex. I'm talking about anal. And so is rubbing 2 clits, but we're talking about anal. Anal sex is still real sex. How do we like the song? How do we like it? I'm so glad, because now you're singing it with me. That's what we're doing. I'm going to move from the top of the chorus. If you don't start singing, I will call you out. I've done it with the mother and son. I've done it with my grandparents. Everybody is singing this song. I'm talking about anal. Love the jazz hands. Anal sex is still real sex. I'm talking about anal. And so is rubbing 2 clits. We're talking about anal. It got quiet, but I understand. Sex is still real sex. Despite what your priest might say. We do raffles and giveaways for audience members. Thank you so much!
Mama Fee, ladies and gentlemen, Mama Fee. Mama Fee, yes. Mama Fee, Mama Fee. When I teach my students, I tell them to turn on the mic. Mama Fee, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for her. I so wish we were having this show in Richland, Washington. Payback would be a bitch for those fuckers. I know I'm different than everyone you've seen tonight, and I realize that. In the last month I have not been to the free clinic, and but please accept me for who I am. One more time, Mama Fee, ladies and gentlemen. Real pleasure to bring our final performer to the stage. He is, how many of you know Nick? I really don't need to do any introduction for Nick because his act speaks for himself. As I said, 11 courses, I don't know how many students I've had here, and he is just brilliant, and he's naturally funny, and I think he's going to go a long way in this field. He's had a ton of acting experience as well as now his stand-up career. Please welcome Nick Altishin, ladies and gentlemen.
Are you ready for searing heterosexual commentary? I will be bringing the straight energy tonight. Actually, I showed up, Lala said, "You look straight," and I just lifted up my fanny pack to show my hoodie. Which, by the way, speaking of my hoodie girls, how's everyone's seasonal depression doing? Very good? Who has it? Who has it? Great. Weak. Talk to me when it's clinical, okay? Little rain starts drizzling, everyone puts on a beanie, and it's like, excuse me, my culture is not a costume. Yeah, I'm gay, which is why this microphone feels kind of small. Just saying, I wouldn't need loop, just fit, anyway. I'm also a faggot. Now I know that's like a weird word for some people, because there's a lot of like pain and trauma associated with that word. I would also say it's literally the most efficient way to describe me. You know, like, lots of people are gay, obviously. But like, once you put on a harness jockstrap and call it a Power Rangers costume for Halloween, it starts becoming like required, you know? Like, once you spend your last weekend in Vegas playing gay kickball while in the meantime getting railed by 3 guys in your hotel room on ketamine, and you only learned one of their names, it's like legally required to change your driver's license. So mine now just says, name, Nick. Gender, faggot. Expiration date, 30 years old. I turn 33 next week. Are there any straight people here tonight?
Yeah.
I was gonna say gross, but you sound so scared. Oh gosh, how can I be an ally in this moment? No, I love straight people. I'm not going to make fun of you. I love straight people. Happy Toyota-thon, I think? I don't know your culture, but welcome. But what I love most about straight people is they always ask me why I'm single, and it's like a compliment when they mean it. You know, they're always like, "Oh my God, you're so handsome. How are you single?" And one, that's because straight people have never seen an attractive person before. They don't know what they look like. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, to give some context, I'm sure plenty of people here understand. Like, I'm considered hot to straight people, but I'm only funny to gay people. Straight girls are like, "I love your eyelashes, you have big arms." And gay guys are like, "You're a hoot." And I'm like, "I'm also naked, but thank you for the feedback." I didn't even have to write that joke, it happened. So, you know, I've been thinking a lot about women. This is the heterosexual portion. No, I recently did a stand-up show centered around the Bechdel test. Who here knows what that is? No one made noise, so I don't know if you're feminist or not. It's basically a test to see if a piece of art is considered feminist. Are there 2 women in the movie? Do they speak to each other? Is it not about a man? And so we like had to come up with material that was like about not men. And I was like, "But I'm gay." And then I realized a weird technicality. One, I was like, AI's a thing right now. I'll just talk about AI. AI's probably non-binary. And then I realized AI is a man. because it sucks. It's just a worse version of a person. And then I stumbled upon this really interesting technicality of the Bechdel test. 2 women, they're talking. It's not about a man. Nothing says it has to be empowering. Which means the current media franchise that most often passes the Bechdel test is The Real Housewives. Just 2 45-year-olds named Luann calling each other slut back and forth for 15-second passes. I love The Real Housewives in like on a very deep level. They yes, reality TV is fake. The housewives are fake. These women are unhinged, genuinely. But there's something magical there because I'm gonna talk about The Real Housewives for the next 20 minutes. These aren't gonna be jokes. I'm just gonna tell you how I feel. So The Real Housewives of New Jersey, season 4 reunion, Teresa, she's on the couch. People are accusing her of not writing her own blogs. They used to write blogs. And she's like, of course I write my own blogs. And the person who was accusing her was Caroline's daughter, Lauren. I don't know why she was on the couch, because she's not one of the main cast, but Teresa was like, of course I write my own blogs. And Lauren's like, really? What does napalm mean? You used it in your blog last week. What does napalm mean? Can you spell it? Guys, what happened next was a spiritual experience for me. Teresa just had to sit there in a gown that looked like a Christmas tree. And she's furious because she's been caught in a lie. She has to keep smiling because there's a camera 10 feet from her face. She's upset that the host isn't getting her out of it. And she's genuinely trying to figure out what napalm means. Kate Blanchett could never. You can't act that bad. It's so beautiful. Another thing when I was trying to brainstorm concepts to talk about with women, I'm like, well, there's just a series of questions you have to go through to be gay, and they're all about women. Like, are you Patti LuPone or are you getting close? Thank you, one person who signed that. That is Sunset Boulevard and that is gay history, people. I need you to learn it. Wow, apparently I'm the only faggot, you're just homosexuals. Whatever. Also, there's which Sanderson sister are you from Hocus Pocus? It's really the gay version of Hogwarts houses. And I understand we don't like J.K. Rowling, but I don't know a better way to give you the context of what picking your Sanderson sister means to a gay person. I'm a Winifred. I try not to be. I accept it. She's crazy. She's a bitch. She shows her teeth a lot. I don't have a joke. I'm just talking to you guys. So have you ever had to explain poppers to your parents? I did, on stage. It was very strange. Now granted, my parents have always embraced my sexuality kind of in the same way that you just automatically click the box liking the terms and services agreement without actually reading through it. They make you scroll to the end, so you're like, okay, something came up about Wicked, sure, that's fine. Unconditional. Let me chill. And then they missed the part about coming out, where when I came out to them, their response was, honey, we know and we love you. That sounds nice. But as established, gay people love attention. So all I could think when they said that to me was, Katie, you're just really stepping on my moment. Thank you for your unconditional love. I don't need that. But how did they know? Well, it always helped that they could hear and or see me. Gave it right away. But as the story goes, my dad says he knew from when I was playing t-ball as a kid. He was the coach. By the way, T-ball's a stupid sport. It doesn't require any skill. I don't know why anyone takes it seriously. I think it's supposed to be a metaphor for baseball, but like the entirely hard thing about baseball isn't happening in T-ball. The ball just sits there. I told you, sports content, you're getting the heterosexuality. So my dad's the coach, I go up to hit the ball, and I do, because it's there. And I just like take off prancing down the little baseline, and that's how you know I was really good. And someone in the field caught it, which is weird because you're like 7, you're not supposed to be able to catch anything. And I didn't know what to do. Like no one knew what to do because when does something happen in children's sports that's supposed to happen? When I played soccer, the main thing was trying to get my friend Spencer to stand up from picking flowers. When you know a gay, it starts early. So basically, the other team had to communicate to their players to throw the ball back to the base, while my dad was trying to get my attention, because I'm just, again, like gallivanting down the way. I think I was skipping at that point. To run around, so they had to come get me off the field because I didn't know I was out. And I just burst into tears because I was so like worried that I upset him or like I made my father like disappointed. And he, as the story goes, he's like just took me into a big hug and just thought to himself in that moment, maybe we're not raising that kind of kid. And the next week he signed me up for my first dance class. So sweet. And then like 3 months ago, I explained asshole relaxers to him from the stage. It gets better. No, my parents did have one straight, we'll call her straight, daughter. And she's married to a man, so like, who's to say? I've seen Sex in the City. We'll wait till her 40s. But now it's all about the baby talk because she's married, which is really fucking gross to think. Like, think about that. What you're actually asking about. All anyone is like, do you want to have kids? Are you trying for kids? When are you gonna have kids? Do you know what has to happen for her to have kids? Why are you asking? We were at a family dinner and someone leaned over and was like, hey, when have you started having kids? And it's like, I also took 2 loaves this morning, but you would be uncomfortable if I brought that up over lasagna. But I didn't say anything, I just went to the bathroom and squeezed out Kyle's water, you know? So my last name is Altishin. It is a difficult name to pronounce. Where was I going with this? Interesting. Oh no, I was gonna make a joke about white people, but then we had 2 comedians of color, so I just don't feel like that's their space. I'm not gonna touch it. But it's a little bit difficult name to pronounce, and so people have asked me, like, oh, you're getting into stand-up, are you gonna use a stage name? And I was like, I don't know, and my middle name is Steele, which apparently that's like the go-to, like, just go with your middle name. I'm like, oh, okay, Nick Steele. I just don't have the energy for porn. You know, I'm not even good at watching porn. Who here watches porn? Raise your hand, you're online. Like everyone watches porn. Are you all bad at watching porn too? I'm very bad at it. Like, they could be the hottest guys in the world, and I just want to know, do they fall in love? You know, did they just find their person? I also get really judgmental when I watch porn, because they'll be going at it, and I'm like, are you letting yourself get eaten out on a maroon suede sectional couch? Have you tried respecting yourself? I also get like caught up in the details of porn. My favorite porn has the little storylines, you know, the little narratives, which gets in the way, because like, okay, he finished, but did Brandon get the job, you know? What is his benefits package like? How much is his copay? Is it a weird conflict of interest that he had to interview with his stepdad? Worried about Brandon, y'all. So recently, a few years ago, I started working out when I lived in LA, and then but it was like a surprisingly heterosexual experience. And then when I moved to Portland, I finally started working out around gay people, which I don't recommend. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure. I don't want to have to worry about douching for the gym. I'm just running out of shirts to cut into cute crop tops. I know, one time, this is a real story. One time I showed up at the gym in a regular length shirt and the front desk person asked me if I was doing okay. And I was like, Becca, don't ever interpret exposed midriff as a sign that I'm doing okay. As part of my fitness journey, I recently went to Barry's boot camp for the first time as a guest, which again, don't go. I don't recommend it. If you haven't been, it is a class-based fitness cult. It's kind of like if Orange Theory were allowed to use the word faggot, you know? Like if CrossFit was a fan of cats. Just really like a by gay people, for gay people kind of space. And you can tell it's a gay space in a few ways. One, it is on the outside decorated like an Apple store. And on the inside decorated like a German sex dungeon. Just real bathhouse vibes. Two, everyone there is just like named Ace. And Gavin. And the occasional lesbian Lori. She spells it with an I. And three, their cafe, the smoothies are dairy-free, so it's bottom-friendly. And four, if you're ever wondering, am I in a gay space right now, just look around, because Barry's boot camp is filled with excited white women. Everywhere. And the one boyfriend or fiance dragged there, trying to be supportive but looking real scared. I'm sure you relate.
But what does a German sex dungeon bathhouse look like?
Thank you. Oh my god, Marco, that's so sweet. I've been meaning to get this off my chest. Imagine a dimly lit spa mixed with a laser tag facility. All black, red lighting, obstacles everywhere. Euro techno music is blaring on the speakers while Gavin is on a microphone screaming at you to just give him 1 more half mile per hour. And it's like, babe, you're standing 10 feet away. Just turn down the music and talk. Use your I statements. Anyway, I fucked Gavin. So it's a really big time in the world right now, and I mean that because of the Barbie movie. It's really exciting because it's like a whole new generation's gay awakening, you know? Like, my generation had the live-action Scooby-Doo movie. They have Barbie, it's very exciting. And when I was trying to like pinpoint what was my gay awakening, what was really the origin of me realizing that I was gay, it's probably because I was raised Catholic and Jesus is hot. All versions of Jesus are hot, by the way. Ken doll Jesus, surfer Jesus, historically accurate black Jesus, all fuckable. The issue though is when you grow up having a crush on Jesus Christ, it teaches you how to fall for manipulative men. Yeah, you celebrate Easter, that's a real fuckboy holiday. I don't think it counts if he came back. Like, 3 days in a cave, that's not a sacrifice, that's a staycation. Jesus napped for our sins. And he also like knew he was coming back, which is the worst part. That's basically the same as a guy taking you to dinner, making a whole gesture of pain. Meanwhile, he's getting all of those extra miles on his Alaska credit card. It's not a grand gesture. He's getting something out of it. And still, there I am. Just a tiny, tiny boy of 10 looking up at the cross. Crown of thorns, holes in his hands. Huge pecs and just cum gut abs. And I'm like, oh my god, he did that for me. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. This has been a great crowd.
Nick Altishin, ladies and gentlemen. God. Keep it up for Nick. I know. All of us are going to go to Catholic Church now on Sunday. A little more enthusiasm than I really wanted. Father. Religion has been great for me as a stand-up comic for 43 years. It really has. I mean, it's just, in the 80s, you know, Jerry Falwell, moral majority. I love that his son is now jerking off to the Pool Boys. That is great. Remember Jim Swagger, Jim Baker got caught with prostitutes? We found out how those Bibles got in all those hotel rooms. Well, thank you. Old enough to remember. Some of you are like, Bible? I want to thank you all for coming out tonight, and before I ask for a round of applause for all our performers, I want to say a special thank you to everyone who works here at Comedy Sports, Patrick and Jay and Johanna, Ruth, and people who are not here. We give them a round of applause for They have been teaching and holding improv shows for 30 years at this location. 30 years. And they have given me a home to teach stand-up comics. I really love it, and Gary will tell you, I go out Monday and Thursday to teach a class. I come home really happy, and he gets to be with his dog. And gives them a chance to move it to the next level. It's really, if you want to support Comedy Sports, PortlandComedy.com is the place. Always great shows here, including this show tonight. If you want to take the class that Daniel took and Nick took and so many have taken, you can sign up at PortlandComedy.com. All right, a big hand for all the performers tonight, please. Right over here, ladies and gentlemen. All over there. All over there. Daniel Lewkow, ladies and gentlemen. Daniel Lewkow. Come on up on stage. Come on, let's sit right up on stage. Daniel Lewkow, ladies and gentlemen. Mama B. Nick Altishin, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, give us all a round of applause. We're here for you. Thank you for showing up. One last thing about my mom, since she met Gary in 1998. It didn't take her long to fall in love with my husband. Not in the same way I did, but, well, maybe, I don't know. But she didn't take long to love Gary, and she passed in 2012, but she always loved Gary, accepted him just as she would accept me or any member of his family. So love wins, love can win, love does win. Good night, thanks for coming. Thank you.
about scholarship. You see me. Thank y'all for making the track too. I'm glad to have done that.